Welcome back guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Richard and I run a menswear style vlog where we talk about all things men's style. The purpose of me setting up this channel initially was to help guys out there that maybe had no or little interest in clothing, to build a wardrobe full of basics, to keep them looking stylish for many years to come, and also therefore improving their confidence. If you like what I'm doing, then I'd really appreciate a comment in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible because I do enjoy interacting with you all. Also, if you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button to the bottom right hand side of this video and the bell to the underneath right hand side of this video so you can be notified every time I upload a new video on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I will get straight into the content of this video, and that is my 4 favourite styles of Converse shoe and how to wear them. Coming up after the break. Welcome back guys, and before the break I told you that today's subject is going to be Converse, in particular Converse shoes. At this point in my life I can't imagine there's anyone out there in the world that hasn't heard of Converse the company or their favourite and most iconic shoe, the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Stars. If you are one of those people, then this video is for you. If, like me, you've got a massive love for the shoe, then stick around as well, because obviously I'll be talking about my favourite pairs. I've got 4 pairs to show you out my collection of 15 or so. I absolutely love them, and pretty much I'd say 8 to 9 months of the year you'll find me wearing them. The only time I don't is when it's absolutely soaking wet and my canvas ones are sort of ineffective against the cold and wet weather. I have got some leather pairs, but anyone that knows about Converse will know that some of them aren't so grippy, so like me, you've probably fallen flat on your backside a few times wearing them in the wet weather, so they get retired in the winter and then brought back out March, April time. So it's almost upon us, spring's almost upon us, time again when I'm going to be digging out the Converse. So I wanted to do a quick video really, just to delve into the history of them and what I like about them and what sort of styles and varieties are out there. So without further ado, I'm just going to talk about the history of Converse. Converse have been referred to as Cons, Chuck Taylors, All-Stars, Chucks. Essentially they all refer to the same thing, and that is a specific model of shoe with a rubber sole and canvas upper. They do them in high top, which come up just above the ankle, and low top as they're called, which basically refer to the normal low sneaker where the cutaway comes just below the ankle. Whatever you call them, Chuck Taylors were produced and still are today by the company Converse, based in the United States of America, and their design and their construction has remained largely unchanged since that time. It has a canvas stitched upper portion attached to a rubber sole and lower. Chuck Taylors have remained largely unchanged design wise until 2015, when Converse paired with another US company, Nike, to come up with the Chuck Taylor 2. The main difference between the two is that the Chuck Taylor 2 had Nike technology built into the heel and the sole of the Chuck Taylor, so it's a lot more comfortable for wearing for prolonged periods of time. That is essentially the only difference between the two. The design has remained relatively unchanged. The design has remained pretty much unchanged since they originally released the first pair of Chuck Taylor All-Stars. But you can get different styles of the Chuck Taylor. If you go onto Converse.com, you'll see so many different limited edition styles, whether that be artist inspired works from Italy. My personal favourite of those is the DC Comics Justice League edition, which have got nice Justice League artwork throughout. There's other graffiti inspired ones, limited edition custom shoes that you can make your own colours, as I said earlier on, and you can stitch your own name in to give it that extra personal edge. But what I like about it as well, they've also got the Converse Jack Purcell shoe. Purcell lineup of the Converse shoe was a collaboration between the US badminton player Jack Purcell and Converse, and are very distinctive by the fact that they've got a very unique smile, which I'll show you shortly, on the toe area, and they're slightly flatter and more basic in design. And I think also I'm right in saying that it's not a high top, it's a mid top, so it just comes sort of the centre of your ankle. They're your main differences between the Jack Purcell and the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star, but I'll show you the differences shortly. I've got a pair of Jack Purcell here to show you. but I love them. I love the fact that I've got a pair of each, so I can sort of mix it up a little bit. Some people prefer the Jack Purcell, and they're very retro inspired, so those fans of retro clothing will probably opt for the Jack Purcell over the normal Converse, but I love them both. Another line that Converse are doing at the moment, which I think they brought in again last year, are the Chuck Taylor 70s, which, as you guessed it, are the basically made to the same specifications they were in the 1970s. Essentially, that means thicker rubber soles, thicker toes, and thicker canvas uppers, which make for a more hard-wearing and heavier shoe. I absolutely love them, and they're another one to watch out for. And I've got a pair here as well, which I can show you. So you'll be able to see the differences between the low top, the high top, the Chuck Taylor 2s and the Jack Purcell. So I'll also show you the 1970s version as well, so you can make your own mind up what you like and see the differences in design. Converse are basically style perfection. They're an absolute classic that have transcended time, and they always will do. They go with any outfit. You can dress them up, like I said earlier on, or dress them down. They're the ultimate cool shoe. I mean, like I said, I wear them 9 to 10 months out of the year. I absolutely love them. I'll never be without my Converse. You can always style them. They look great, and you can express your individuality with them depending on what colour you go for, what material. But the bottom line is they will always be in style. You can't go wrong. If I was to say you need one pair and one pair only, if cost was an issue and you could only afford one pair, go for a pair of white canvas or leather Converse low tops. They are amazing. You can wear them with anything. They look great with chinos, worn sockless in the summer, cuffed up your chinos, showing a bit of mankle. Wear them with a pair of slim fit jeans. They are just the most versatile colour, and the fact is they'll go with anything you throw at it. Doesn't matter what colour you're wearing, whether jeans or top. A pair of white Converse will go with it, and it'll look absolutely amazing. Just remember to keep them as clean as you can. You don't want them to look bright white, like you've never worn them before, but also you don't want to look like you're just taking them out the package. Just take care of them, wipe them down when you come back in if they're muddy. Basically, guys, what I'm trying to say is that Converse are style perfection and the most versatile footwear you can own, and you can never have too many. If I was to say one pair only, I would say get a pair of white, leather or canvas, depending on what your budget will allow, but white will go with absolutely anything you throw at it. There's nothing that won't go with a pair of Converse, and I really do mean that, guys. Nothing looks out of place with a pair of Converse, maybe except the suit. You can dress them up, as I said earlier on, you can dress them down. They go with every single thing that you wear. You can wear them with leather jackets, you can wear them with Harrington jackets, you can wear them with pea coats. They just look great. They're great all year round. I would just say, if you're going to go for white, just make sure you keep them clean. Don't be obsessively cleaning them so they look brand new, because in my opinion, Converse look better with a little bit of character, a little bit of time-worn look. But just give them a wipe down once when you come in, especially if you've got leather ones, are easy to clean off. You can even machine wash them, although I wouldn't recommend it too often. I've done that in the past with my white ones, because obviously by the very nature of the fact they're white, they get dirtier quicker. They do tend to sometimes affect the rubber seams, and I took them out before and they've slightly bowed and they look slightly bent like a banana, but the bottom line is they'll soon iron themselves out again once you start wearing them. But white just are the best colour to go with anything you throw at it. They've been adopted by every single subculture you can think of in the modern world. Musicians such as Kurt Cobain were constantly pictured wearing his Converse shoes. Every film star that you could possibly think of in the modern age has been wearing Converse shoes. They've always been timeless and classic. They always will be timeless and classic. Grab yourself as many pairs as you can afford in different colours, materials, etc. And if you can stretch through it, because it is slightly more expensive, go for a customised pair to your particular style and colour coordinations that you like. And just wear them to death. They are honestly the most amazing and iconic shoe you could ever wear. So what I'll do now is I'll just show you the pairs that I've got here and just show you the differences between them. Common sort of Converse shoe you're going to see out there are these. I call them the low tops, but essentially they're just the opposite, the high tops. They're normal canvas sneakers. As you can see, as I said earlier on, you've got your rubber construction there and the distinctive white line across the rubber that I was mentioning. And the white rubber toe, and essentially the canvas upper. This is a pair of grey ones. They pretty much go great with any dark pair of jeans, but obviously they're going to go better with black. I wear them quite a lot with white jeans in the summer, But these are a relatively new pair, which is why they look new. They haven't had a lot of wear. I bought them last year, and I think I've only worn them once. But essentially, they've got quite a flat sole. They've got a little bit of grip there, but this is why I recommend that you don't wear them when it gets too wet in the winter, because you'll slip over, as has happened to me. But that is essentially what a Converse looks like. It's got the All-Star design on the back, the double stitching. But as you can see, they're a very classic shoe. They will go with anything, absolutely anything. They come in so many different colour variations. I've got a pair of bright orange ones, or pastel orange I should say, which I wear in the summer. And I've got a pair of white ones in leather and canvas. But they are just a great shoe, guys. So there is the canvas low top. As you can see, it's got the Converse logo inside on the sole. But they're just a very basic shoe, and that's what I love about them, because they're so versatile. They go with anything. The next up is the high top, and I mentioned earlier on that the high top comes just above the ankle, which obviously you can see it does. It's got the gum toe and sole. And I mentioned earlier on that these come in white, gum, or black, and other colour variations. And I have got a pair with forest green as well, which I showed you on my Christmas haul video. But essentially, that's the gum colour. It's really nice and quite unique and different. And of course, as with all the high tops, on the inner side of the ankle, you've got the Converse logo there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but essentially that's a pair of high tops. So you can see the difference when you hold up the high top and the low top, what we're talking about here. I would wear the high top probably more so in the winter or in the autumn when I'm wearing socks. In the summer, I tend to wear these sockless with my trousers or jeans or chinos, whatever I'm wearing, just cuffed up, showing a bit of ankle. So I do go sockless with these ones in the summer. Also, I mentioned earlier on the Chuck Taylor 70s. Now, this is a pair of Chuck Taylor 70s, and it's not only the design, but also the colours are very 70s inspired. This, as you can see, is a mint green. It's got the Converse All-Star logo there. But I don't know if you can see the difference between the high tops that I showed you a moment ago and these. You can already see that the rubber is slightly wider, and especially in the toe area, you can see that the rubber sole and toe are thicker on the green 1970s version. It's got these really nice matching laces as well. I did get a pair of white ones thrown in as well, which I really like. So if I wanted to change those up and make it a little bit more individual to match the sole, I could do. But I love these shoes. I've not worn them yet. That's why they look so brand new. I bought them last year thinking I'd wear them, and I didn't, but I'm going to this year. They're absolutely amazing. I don't know if you can see as well that the rubber is slightly glossy, which again is a very nice 1970s inspired detail. These are made exactly to the specification of the 1970s model, and as you can see, it's got the very retro 1970s Converse All-Star Chuck Taylor logo on the back, and that is what they had on these shoes in the 1970s. So the differences will be, you've got the authentic 1970s logo on the back, you've got the thicker rubber sole, which is also shinier, and the thicker, and obviously I'm not going to be able to show you that, the thicker canvas just makes for a really nice shoe and a very retro inspired. I'd wear these more so with jeans and a Henley for a really relaxed 1970s cool vibe. So I love these shoes, guys. So that's the 1970s. And also I had to show you the Jack Taylor version of these, or sorry, Jack Purcell Chuck Taylor shoe. And here we are. So this is a brown leather Jack Purcell. It's got the very flat. Now I said that they're flatter underneath, and what I meant by that, and I didn't explain it very well, as you can see, it's a very flat design. Now they were obviously built all in collaboration with Converse and Jack Purcell, who was, as I said earlier on, a badminton player. And this is the sort of shoe that he had designed for use whilst playing badminton. Now you're not going to be seeing these on any badminton courts nowadays. They're mainly worn for fashion rather than function. But that's the difference. It's very flat, so I wouldn't wear these in the winter. I've actually gone over on my backside wearing these particular pair, hence why they're so filthy. You can see the difference between these and the Chuck Taylors. The Chuck Taylors are a lot more grippy underneath, as opposed to the Jack Purcell that are very flat and not very grippy at all. You've got the Jack Purcell logo underneath there, in the middle in red. And now the smile I was going to show you on the front is there's a very thin white strip there that looks like a smile. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera because the shoe is quite dirty. I haven't cleaned this, unfortunately, very well. But generally they're black in other designs, so it looks like a smile on the shoe. So if you look at it, the bottom eye looks like a pair of eyes. That looks like a smile, and that's where it gets its name from, the smile. And also you can see that the toe is slightly raised, whereas on the other Converse shoes, you've literally just got a very basic toe there. This one differs in the fact that it's got a slightly different cut, and this part here is actually raised, and this is slightly lower, a few millimeters lower. So it's a very distinctive style. You can see it probably better from the side there as well. It's a very different toe, and there's a lot less detailing on this shoe. There's no strip of rubber there with a different sort of colour, and on the back you've got a Jack Purcell logo, which is just in the same white. So it's a very, very plain shoe, but as you can see, it's just really, really nice. It's so plain and basic that it will go with anything you throw at it. And I love the differences between this and the original Chuck Taylor. Which one do you buy? Well, it's all down to your preference, or if you can, get one of each. But I love the Jack Purcell range of shoes, and I'm probably going to get myself another pair pretty soon before those wear out. But basically, they're the differences between the Chuck Taylor and the Jack Purcell. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry if I've rambled on a little bit too much, but there's a lot to talk about when it's in relation to Converse. They're great shoes, and really you need to pick yourself up a pair. And if you are one of the people that haven't got any, this video hopefully has helped you a little bit in making your choices. But I would say get yourself out there, buy yourself one or more pairs of Converse, start rocking them this spring and summer and into the autumn, and enjoy them, because they really are great. They're the most versatile shoe that I own. I'll never stop wearing them, and they are absolutely amazing. So go grab yourself some pairs, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry to ramble on a little bit, but if you have liked it, then smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.